Now the kicker, that's Cameron Dicker, set to get us started.
And this one is underway here on EA Sports.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Here we go, son.
They'll start on the ground here on first down.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Now, these two teams, you might recall, met up back in September in Week 3. And it was the Chiefs who got the road victory there, so now looking to claim the season series at home in KC. Here's Fields. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. But you talk about the defense for these Chargers.
And they find themselves just outside the top 10 in the league against the pass, currently bringing up the number 11 spot.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the number 1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
Hey, cheer. Go.
Here's Fields.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Now Davis fumbles it, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. And maybe getting a little too cute there on the punt return. Sometimes they forget paramount holding on to that football.
I really do believe most of the return guys think to themselves, when I get the ball, I'm going to make the play that's going to change the game. I'm going to break it. And you love that they have that attitude, but your point is so well taken. What do you have to do? First and foremost,
hold on to it.
Take care of the football. That's all he needed to do.
To throw is Fields. A short one here, caught by McBride.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and that will bring up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Thornton. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They're looking at a 2nd and 8 now from the 10.
Here we go. Good.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Right.
Fields now to throw. Out left and complete to Thornton. And the Chiefs are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Yeah, he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Here we go.
Charbonnet. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way.
That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? And they'll send the tight end in motion left.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal.
This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That's going to bring up 4th down, only a gain of 2 there. Butker's kick here is good, and the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Herbert going to lead up the Chargers here, 1st and 10.
Right at the 30.
They'll run with a 2nd-round pick from April's draft.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
You talk about this Chiefs defense.
Currently number 1 in the NFL against the run.
And I know, just like me, you're fired up about this one because this is the irresistible object and the immovable force. They're going head-to-head, number 1 versus number 1. I've talked about that running backs renaissance for a while. Can they slow these guys down? Where's my helmet? I want to play.
Jeez, you are fired up. Something's got to give. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down.
It's early, but announcer cliche alert here. Big players make big plays. Should I say in big games too? Oh, what the heck. And this defense, they're going to have to find some way to slow him down as this game goes on, because when this combination is going good, they can tear your secondary apart.
21.
On 1st down, Hampton.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. There are times on carries like that where he looks a little bit older than his rookie status.
How many times have we talked when we've gone out to dinner about how precocious these youngsters are that come into the NFL now? They play at a higher level at a younger age. The stars aren't quite in their eyes as much as it used to be, huh?
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hampton, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Third down, now even tougher. 3rd and 13 after that loss of a yard.
This defense for the Chiefs, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Dancing to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Micah Parsons showing off that elite athleticism as he gets the sack.
And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance.
So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to.
There he goes, left side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
And Xavier Worthy
with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Chiefs have taken the lead. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead is now 10-3. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Charger drive about to get going. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time.
Right back to him on 1st down. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Hampton. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. 9 good yards there on the run, and now 3rd down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
A shotgun handoff now to Miller. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
They'll run it again with Miller. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Up the middle they go. Hampton, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here, 3rd and 5. Chiefs are going to get him.
A loss of 3 on a sack made by multiple defenders.
Defensively, they were all over that. When he decided to keep it, there were a lot of eyes just darted on him.
I wonder if he followed the progressions properly there. I think maybe he really wanted to run with the football. Turned out not to be the correct decision.
And no move to get Herbert off the field. They're going for this.
They snap it to Herbert. Short throw to Disley. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The 4th down play doesn't work for the Chargers. And the Chiefs defense comes up with a stop. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
Out of the gun, Fields completes this one to Thornton.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. Down the left sideline.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Tyquan Thornton,
54 yards.
And the Chiefs go up by 2 touchdowns. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead is now 17-3. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Open man right side, that's McConkey.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. From the gun, Herbert on 3rd down.
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose, and it's picked up by the Chiefs.
Down the left sideline. Inside the 10.
And he has brought this one back. A fumble recovery for a Chiefs touchdown.
Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. A dangerous return man showing it here.
The Chargers take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. Amari Cooper with career touchdown number 75. And the Chargers are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and good by Dicker. And that cuts the lead to 24-10.
Dicker to kick off for the Chargers.
Here's Dicker now as he'll send this one away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback. And we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now he's loose again. He may go.
And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
Justin Fields.
66 yards.
And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big strike like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense...
And got his man complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Herbert. Flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
2nd and 10.
Now it's Herbert.
Now this one finds McConkey. And he'll be touched down at the end, but a big play on that one.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. This will be caught at about the 5. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Herbert back to the air. And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown. Will Dissly, his third touchdown now on the year.
And the Chargers get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Now after the Dicker field goal, he's back out, ready to send it away. The returner, Trey Tucker, going to bring this one out. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Already enjoying a two-score lead here late in the second quarter. Not a ton of time left. We'll see if they can work this at least into field goal range and try to get 3 to add on even more to their lead. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Fields. That's complete yet again to Thornton.
Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Hey, 551. Here we go. Good. Alpha, 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 alpha. All right.
A shotgun snap. Fields.
Buying time to his left. And he's got this down to the 35. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and that will do it for this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game. That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He finds his man, complete. That's Hampton. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing.
But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Here's Herbert.
He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
He finds his man, complete. That's Hampton. So the completion gets him just a yard, and that'll make it second down.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there, because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
And the Chiefs D closes in on him again, and they drop him behind the line. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. Here's Herbert. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on fourth down. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out, and the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. They'll run on first down. Thornton, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Brings up second and 12 at the 49-yard line.
From the gun, here's Fields. A short one here, caught by McBride.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. Now a give, right side. It's Thornton. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown.
Tyquan Thornton with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year,
as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Here's second and 10.
Herbert now. Rolling to his right. Escapes the sack.
A flag comes in. It's incomplete. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that one go. Yeah, we kind of sensed that one. He got a little too far forward before throwing, and that one will set them back.
And remember, the NFL level, being aware of where the line of scrimmage is crucial. And here's the other part. Any part of the quarterback's body that's near that line of scrimmage, he's going to get the benefit of the doubt. So he was clearly over the line.
Here's a diving catch right side.
Go.
Back to throw here, Herbert. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Back to throw again. That's caught left side by Hardman. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. The Chargers passing game rolling a bit here. They've got another first. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To the air again, Herbert. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Hampton.
So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2.
Now a handoff up the middle. Hampton, he is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. 9th play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown from 21 yards away.
And the Chargers are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the 3rd.
Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
So after the touchdown, here's Dicker out to kick this one off. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Got his man. It's Thornton.
So the completion good for 7 there. And they're going to have a 3rd down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Now Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
And Xavier Worthy
with career touchdown number 60.
And the Chiefs add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point by Butker is on target.
And they open the lead up now to 25. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away.
And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback.
The Charger drive about to get going.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Deontay Banks with it. And the Chiefs will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. But here in the fourth quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood.
And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Here we go.
The fumble on first down now. Here's second down.
Up the middle they go. It's Thornton. And he's going to get across midfield and into Charger territory. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. On first down, Thornton. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Fields. A first mistake for him in the ball game as it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does them in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
And they'll accept that penalty. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
I know it appeared he was saying, hey, give me the football, I'm open, but I don't know if that's a pass that he should have thrown there.
Well, I don't think we've ever met a wide receiver that doesn't think he is open or is about to be open.
True.
So when you throw your hand up in the air and tell your quarterback, hey, I'm available, he's trusting that you are. In this case, he was not, and it turned into disaster for them.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. He finds his man, complete. That's Hampton. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Hampton. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's up and seen by the official and called.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on 2nd down. Herbert.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 8-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
And they hope to polish things off, and what a run they are on as they try to turn a 6-game win streak into a 7-game win streak.
1st down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone that's the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th.
And that's going to be a Chiefs 1st down as the tackle made at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. That one looks like he'll throw here.
Pass complete there to Nakua.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game.
Hey, check that, street. Come on, set. Trap 60. Go, Reed, go. Ready.
Now Rattler.
And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end.